Why and how was Leia frozen in carbonite? Freezing Han Solo in carbonite was one of the most hindering events to befall the rebel leadership during the Civil War. After aiding Luke Skywalker in the destruction of the Death Star and leading forces during the Battle of Hoth, Han Solo had proven indispensable to the Rebel Alliance, and his capture took away one of the most unconventional yet cunning strategic minds at their disposal. His capture served as a distraction to the other rebel leaders, especially Princess Leia. She was so torn by Han's capture that she couldn't fulfill her role. Instead of figuring out how to defeat the Empire, she was obsessed with how she could rescue Han. She was so obsessed that she too ended up captured. And worse, she ended up frozen in carbonite. Who captured her, and how did she escape? To learn more, let's talk about the events that immediately preceded her capture. After the Imperial forces took over Cloud City in The Empire Strikes Back, and after Luke lost his hand and lightsaber in the battle with Darth Vader, the surviving rebel forces on Bespin rallied with a nearby rebel fleet at one of their pre-staged meeting points. While there, the rebels struggled with how to avoid Imperial codebreakers and unite the rest of their fleet. But Leia couldn't focus on that. Instead, she decided to join Luke and Lando as they went on their secret mission to Cloud City. All three went to the city with ulterior motives. Luke went to find his lightsaber, Lando went to save his friend Lobot, and Leia went to discover how to safely resuscitate someone from carbonite freezing. After barely making it past the Imperial-controlled checkpoints, the trio landed on a platform and quickly separated. Leia ran from cover to cover on her way to the carbonite freezing chamber. She made it and quickly scanned the room to find out exactly how people are frozen and in what sequence the process runs. While looking at the equipment on the walls, bright blue energy circles emanated from behind her and she was knocked unconscious. A stormtrooper with a blaster set to stun had snuck up on her. Realizing that he had caught a valuable rebel, he placed her in the carbonite freezing container and sent it to the hangar for shipping. Before the Imperial vessels could escape with their prisoners, Luke and Lando showed up. With his powers in the Force growing day after day, Luke managed to manipulate the dials on the carbonite containers, thawing out the prisoners and releasing them in the hangar. He also disarmed the stormtroopers and used the Force to place the blasters into the hands of Leia and her comrades. Since her stay in the carbonite was only a few hours long, Leia didn't suffer any of the negative effects that we saw Han suffer when he was taken out of the carbonite in Jabba's palace. Not only did she not suffer any side effects, Leia's confidence was boosted knowing that the process was so simple. Rescuing Han would remain one of the most important missions on her agenda. But knowing that he would be safe inside the carbonite let her spare thought for other important rebel matters that desperately needed her leadership.